You know what I think cruel is? Leaving your loved ones to die in some sterile hospital room surrounded by strangers. Fuck that. Put them in the movies. What? You want your grandmother dying like a little bird in some hospital room? Her translucent skin so thin you can see her last heartbeat work its way down her blue vein? Or do you want her to meet Chuck Norris? Why be so selfish as to deprive her of that thrill? Doc, how come you dressed my grandmother up as a mugger? Shut up and get off the set. Action! Push her towards Chuck. Wow, he kicked her head right off her body. Did you see that? Did you see my Grammy? She's out of her misery. I just saw the greatest fucking movie of my life. Cool.
Whatever we do here, we need to make Roman look strong.
Yeah.
That's number one priority for the entire world right now.
We need to make Menahem look strong.
We need Menachem.
Menachem.
All right.
I
say it like you're from the West.
I am from the West.
I know
what are you
you
talking
are.
about?
Yeah, well, you're going on like you're that's Menahem. Come on now.
All right.
But,
Menachem.
Yeah, there you go.
Menachem.
Like Menachem Golan from Loughrea.
From Loughrea.
That's what we're going
I
for.
like it.
I hope if you're listening that you know who Cannon Films are, and I hope you're kind of familiar with this kind of whole podcasting, talking about movie thing. We're going to call this show the Cannon Canon Podcast because we're going to discuss the films in the Cannon Films canon, if you will.
Yeah, and we just like the pun.
Yeah, it's a good pun. The can.
Yeah,
all the deal. But basically, this isn't going to be a review podcast. This is a discussion podcast.
Yeah,
where we will trawl through the highs and lows of the Canon direct-to-video vault, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to watch the movie. We'll hope you will watch along with us. Basically, we both recently watched Electric Boogaloo, the untold story of Cannon Films, the documentary.
Yeah.
And I think we both kind of realized we're oh yeah, we're Cannon guys. Oh, actually, I should probably introduce ourselves.
Yes.
I go by the internet handle of Johnny Capcom. I hope some of my listeners from We Talk Games and Sidecast have followed us over, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be going out on the Giant Media Ball anyway, so we'll be in there, the people. I'm one of the Wiggly Rogues galleries, and anyone who's probably subscribed to the Giant Media Ball should know who Wiggly is, and hopefully by proxy will know who I am.
It's just like a big internet bullet club.
Yes,
really.
Exactly. Except we're all like, well, you'd be more like, say, Big LG, but I am literally Wiggly's Marty Jannetty. That's kind of what I see myself as. And we're wrestling fans like fucking crazy.
Yes.
But anyway, we're not going to talk about wrestling until we need to.
Yeah.
Because we're going to need to talk about Terry Funk in Over the Top eventually.
Absolutely.
And this isn't a chronological journey through the canon. Basically, we're going to do them as we see them. We want to kind of explore all the genres that Cannon offered, such as sex picture.
I'm looking forward to those.
Bolero is one, of course.
Dear Lord,
we're looking forward to. The teen comedy.
Yes.
Like The Last American Virgin
and the Lemon Jellies of the world.
The Lemon Jellies, yeah.
I'm looking forward to the sex comedies because it means I get to watch them without my girlfriend giving out to me.
Yeah, and on top of that, it gets you to porn has made them irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, Bo Derek wouldn't have a career anymore.
Oh, hell no.
Unless she's in, like, the asylum or something.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, back in the day, like, there was no chance of seeing a dick go in Ireland.
No.
You know, you
no.
needed Emmanuel, man. You needed, like, you know.
I think I might have told you this before. You know all those Shannon Tweed movies?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, I was full sure that the only way you could have sex was if you were an undercover cop or hunting a serial killer in a strip club.
Yeah.
That was the only way you could have sex, because it was the only thing I'd ever been exposed to.
I figured you needed to be like Elias Koteas in Erotica. You
What,
needed
just creepy as hell?
and a junkie who spins cherry pie for strippers
Absolutely.
while a serial killer stalks the place.
Yeah.
You know, America has a lot to answer for when it comes to sex and violence. Like,
Yeah, you're weird in the head, America. You're
But,
weird in the head.
weird depictions of sex.
I must say, man, I wasn't, until I watched that documentary, I wasn't familiar with Canon as a thing, because I'm not one of those people who follows studios.
Yeah.
I just watch movies.
Well, the thing is, I've been thinking about this while getting ready to do this podcast. Like, Canon films for me, like, they're weird because they were always there. There's like
Yeah.
Orion and Carol Co. And but Canon's films were everywhere when I was a kid. And I think the reason being, like, I'm 29, you're 30.
Yeah.
When we were like 5 and 6 in 1990, the entire canon was on VHS and regularly broadcast on television.
Oh god, yeah.
So you were drenched in this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, I grew up in a Charles Bronson house. Like, my ma loves her a bit of Charles Bronson. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, we're sadly going to have to talk about the Death Wish sequels, but we're going to leave that for now. But
I don't fancy talking about those just yet.
no, you
I
do
need
have
to-
a feminist girlfriend.
Yeah, I need to. I need, and to be honest, those films made me more a feminist than she ever has.
Yeah.
Because wow.
But anyway, we'll get into that. And I mean, the thing is about the more troubling aspects of Canon films, and there are many, like sexual assault is featured in quite a few of them. And all
Yes.
that. We're not going to dismiss them, and we're not going to censor this stuff, but we're not going to talk about it in depth, because what we want to do is just have a bit of fun. I want you to have a bit of fun, but we're not dismissing it or washing over it. But it's an upsetting topic, and we're just not going to go into it in depth, because look, you know what happens if you know anything about Canon movies. You know that they've got these troubling elements, and it's not that we're going to wash over it. As I said, we're just going to breeze by it, because we want you to have fun, as much fun as we have watching these movies. I'll say this, in the documentary Electric Boogaloo, there seemed to be like a stigma attached to Canon movies in America, at least.
Yeah.
Like they were like a trash studio. To me, they were just as relevant as anybody else.
Absolutely.
Like,
I mean, we don't discriminate between trash movies and what would be considered, contemporary fare.
yeah,
Like one of my all time favorite movies is the Last Broadcast, and I don't think anyone has ever seen that, because it was just made on like a budget of about like 10 grand.
yeah. Well,
And-
that's the thing, though. It's like when you're a kid and you're watching movies. Like, I explained this to my friend Ralph. Like, he says to me, like, he's like, he couldn't believe I knew who Rudy Ray Moore was. And,
Really?
yeah, but like, he's there.
Dolomite, the King of Harlem.
Yeah, exactly. But I had to say to him, like, I was like, Ralph, look, you got to understand, man. Like, there's no such thing as black and white films in Ireland. Like, films for black people and white people. We were all white.
Yeah, there were no black people.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
unless there was a specific type of movie just for Paul McGrath.
yeah. Him and Terry Phelan on the bus watching fucking, Caged Heat.
Yeah, they booked off one screen of the Rialto every Saturday afternoon.
But no, there wasn't a thing. Like, there was no. We just got videos. Like, Larry Myler used to drive his video van around to my estate. Like, and we didn't give a fuck. Like, we were just like, Masters of the Universe, fucking Gone with the Wind. It's all the same to us. Like, it's just like, there was no differentiation, shall we say. Like, they were all just movies.
Yeah.
There was no black movies, no white movies. There was no cheap movies. There was no expensive movies. Like, you'd watch, say, Raiders of the Lost Ark and go, that was great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you'd also watch, like, American Ninja 3 and go, that was great.
Oh, hells yes.
And we will fucking get into American Ninja
Oh.
3 and 4 and the rest.
Oh, I have some rants. I have some thoughts about that movie that need to be shared with the world.
But like today, like as I said, we're gonna go through every genre that Cannon did, and we're gonna try and go through every film Cannon have done, which is a hard task.
Yeah,
we're going to be pension age by the time we get.
Yeah,
to it.
they made like 500 million films or something.
But we're just gonna have fun as we see it. We're not gonna go through series all of one. Like, I certainly wouldn't advise watching Death Wish 2 to 5.
Oh.
Unless you were thinking, I wouldn't mind killing myself.
And probably assaulting someone on the way out.
We're not going to go through them. But today we decided to start strong.
Yeah.
And we decided to start with Invasion U.S.A.
Oh, yes.
Fucking please.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yay.
And this, of course, is a... What year did this movie come out?
This came out in 1985.
Okay.
I have some...
Yeah.
I have some details here. It was directed by Joseph Zito, the man who went on to direct the Missing in Action movies.
Okay.
Starring Richard Lynch, Melissa Prophet, and of course the man, the myth, Chuck Norris.
Yes, indeed.
The weekend it came out, it was actually #1 at the box office. Now, granted, this was only for 1 week. It fucking plummeted after that.
No one thought it could ever happen here. They are an army of international terrorists.
America has not been invaded by a foreign enemy in nearly 200 years.
Their target, America. Their objective, control.
18 hours from now, America will be a different place.
Now, only one thing stands in their way.
It's time to die.
Didn't work, huh? Now it will.
They wanted a war.
See you in hell.
He gave them one.
Send me a postcard.
Chuck Norris. Invasion, U.S.A.
Basically, this film, it's in 1980s, kind of a gung-ho American movie. Kind of like a more fun version of Red Dawn.
Yes. I remember, I have it in my notes here. Within about one of the first notes I have is, this plot is Nigel Farage's fucking fever dream.
If it was like Invasion UK.
Yeah.
But,
except, just Polish brickies instead of like, communist anarchists or whatever they were.
Just coming in off the ships.
Yeah.
And just knocking up houses in Bristol and knocking down a raid.
So, I love this movie because it embraces every trope of the 1980s action film.
All right, we'll get to that in a second, all right? We'll get into the main discussion of that. But no, first we're going to talk about Chuck Norris for a few minutes. Yeah. I mean, Chuck Norris is kind of an internet legend these days because like of the Chuck Norris facts, jokes and stuff. Yeah. But to me, like, I think a lot of people who are sharing those jokes didn't seem to understand why Chuck Norris was a thing.
Yes.
Like, I knew a lot of people who were just like, oh yeah, Chuck Norris, I don't know, shit's fucking stars or whatever it was, like, But, and it was just like this loose idea of who Chuck Norris was. Whereas, I mean, I grew up, and I'm sure you did, having one of my favorite TV shows being Walker fucking Texas Ranger.
Oh, God, yeah. The bit where he stared down the bear.
Yeah.
It's like, yes! And
on top of that, Chuck Norris was the special enforcer for the return match between The Undertaker and Yokozuna.
That's right, yes.
And he kicked Jeff Jarrett in the head, and I mean, I was like, wrestling and Walker Texas Ranger are clearly both 100% real now.
Yes.
So,
dear God, yes.
But like Chuck, that was on the downswing of Chuck, because back in the day you went to TV to die essentially, as opposed to now where you go to TV to do your best work. But like at that point in time, Chuck Norris had been a VHS megastar. Like an Invasion USA is in the middle of his fucking prime years.
And there's the Missing in Action series. Yeah. Of course, Game of Death, which he was phenomenal. No. Which one was it again?
He actually was in Game of Death because they used footage from Way of the Dragon.
Way of the Dragon, yes.
Yeah, because that was his first movie. He was in movies like Force of One, and others that I can't quite recall.
And who can forget Forest Warrior?
Yeah, but look, Cannon made him into a star.
Yeah.
Cannon films put this guy in a launch pad. And he's the perfect guy for Cannon because he can kick and stare, and that's
that's essentially his range.
Yeah, and he just, I don't know what it is about Chuck. He became a star. He actually legit was a star.
Yeah.
Like, he's a joke now. He said he is a joke now. I mean, the guy's a bit of a dick as well, like when you talk about his personal politics and whatever. But we're not going to get into that because that's not the place for this. But
the reason Chuck was as big as he was that Chuck was legit a tough guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Chuck he held the professional middleweight karate championship 6 years in a row.
World,
yeah. He holds black belts in karate, Chun Kuk Do, and in 1990 became the first Westerner to rise to the rank of 8th degree black belt grandmaster in Taekwondo. He is legitimately a badass. And even if he has the range of a half-filled water pistol, you know that when he kicks you in the face, if his control is off, your head's coming off.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said this to you earlier on. If I was to describe Chuck Norris, he's an action BG.
Yes, dear Lord, yes.
He's got like this flyaway beard,
and like the Bee Gees, he didn't stick around. There, it was straight in. Do what you have to do.
Yeah, just again, imagine like one of the Bee Gees who's just like, he's like an amalgam of all three Bee Gees, but like that with like George the Animal Steel's body hair, and like just fast feet. I bet he could dance if he tried.
Oh, no doubt.
And,
no doubt.
I'm sure he had his own nights on Broadway, lame fun. But basically, Chuck is the star of this movie. And I think what I want to talk about before we get into the main swing of the film is like, what we expected from this movie. Like, because you would have watched the trailer. What were you thinking you were going to get from Invasion U.S.A?
I was expecting a big dumb action movie.
Yeah.
And it more than delivered. I was very pleased with what I got.
Yeah.
What were you expecting?
I'll be honest, I didn't know. I was kind of hoping for like, I was just hoping for a couple of moments, because like I remember when I used to watch like the Asylum movies, I was just like, I don't need you to make a great movie. I just need you to make me laugh like 3 times.
Oh, hell's yeah.
And this is what I was kind of expecting for this. I was also like, I don't know, I expected a little bit of unintentional humor. And I think once we get into the meat of this, we got some. And
oh, hells yeah!
From there, we might as well fucking hit the credits.
Absolutely.
And get into the meat of the discussion.
Okay.
Of Chuck Norris's 1980s opus, Invasion U.S.A. Okay, and we're back. Hope you didn't get blown away too much by whatever was in there, because we're not going to edit this. We got someone else out of this. I'm being really nice to him. I'm not mentioning by name because I know he'd probably get all weird. But yeah, Invasion USA. As I said, we're not going to review this movie. We're just going to discuss it. It's a big difference. It's conversation. It's not a review. But it starts out with. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I got confused because I watched this on an illegal streaming site like any normal person would, and basically I was there going, wait a minute, have I stumbled into an actual documentary about Ronald Reagan's 1980s foreign policy? Because it starts out with the U.S. Coast Guard just arbitrarily massacring Cuban immigrants.
Yeah. And there was like I remember watching that, and it's like a small kid going, are we going to make it, Dad? Yeah. And the dad going, I don't know. Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ, what have I signed up for Schindler's List or something here? This is very fucking grim.
Oh, if Chuck Norris had been in Schindler's List, it would have been called Schindler's Fist. And he would,
Asylum, get on it.
Yeah, he would have just been like, you're the master race. Well, I'm the master of 7 different forms of kung fu. It starts out with a massacre of these poor Cuban immigrants trying to get to America. And Rostov, we get our first images of Rostov, who appears on the boat and says "Bienvenido" in United States, or whatever, something similar to that effect. Basically, welcome to the United States. And all the Cubans go, "Yay!" hey, let's get on the boat. And then just because he's a cunt, he kills them.
Yeah, he just mows them all down.
Yeah, him and all these boys. Just like, they could have just killed him anyway.
Yeah.
Instead they were there going, nah, make him feel it. You know?
And as well as that, after the last body is dropped, there's still about another 12 or 13 more rounds that go in.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Why? That's just excessive.
It's
You're I immediately think this guy's a douchebag.
Again, I think that they were just following Reagan's foreign policy.
Oh, hells yeah.
But I mean, that's up for discussion, like by more politically minded persons than myself. But then we cut from that and we go straight into Chuck Norris beard flapping in the wind.
Yeah.
Just like on a hoverboard, the most boring fucking credit sequence I've ever seen. It's literally Chuck Norris going home.
Yeah.
That's what it
It's
is.
him holding a stick, looking grim.
Yeah.
With his pectorals out. That's as much of a...
However, if you want to establish that a film is in the motherfucking USA,
Yeah.
or you better just have Chuck Norris driving.
Yeah.
Like,
Doesn't matter what he's driving. Yeah.
Because something tells me, right, he ain't in some fucking commie pinko country like Ireland.
No.
Right?
He's not driving a Skoda, I'll
No.
tell you that.
No, he's... a Skoda fucking hovercraft.
A Lada or a Yugo or something.
Yeah, well, no, the thing is, as I said, the credits are boring as fuck.
Yeah.
But it did, something sprang out at me when I was watching it, and that is that Chuck Norris fucking wrote this movie, more or less.
Yeah, himself and his brother Aaron. And Aaron Norris, he went on to direct a couple of Chuck's movies. Sidekicks, Forest Warrior. You know, the ones that are like really gratuitous in how over the top, insanely badass Chuck Norris is.
Yeah.
If anything, I blame Aaron Norris for the Chuck Norris facts.
I'm surprised, like, when you watch, like, Sidekicks and stuff, I'm surprised this is not, like, loving shots of Chuck's junk.
Yeah, pretty
You know,
much.
like, he's sweet underdick.
Well, it was the logical conclusion to that movie, because that was 90 minutes of getting teabagged by Chuck Norris.
Yeah. Right down to the point where the kid's under him on a rope or something.
Yeah.
I seem to remember. What's his name? Suicide Guy. Fuck, that's horrible.
Jonathan Bendis.
John Bendis, man. He was a cool guy. I want to hang out with him when I watch Sidekicks. Like, I was like, fucking, he's in Sequest. He's in, he's in fucking... Brian Bendis. That's the comic guy.
Yeah.
But, Jonathan Brandis. That was it. My good friend Mel from the U.S. Had a big old crush ski on him and his dolphin in Sequest DSV with Roy Scheider, I believe. Yeah, whatever, man. Fucking back on the point,
Back
right?
onto point.
But yeah, man, Chuck is fucking rocking through the Everglades.
Yeah.
Because it's set in Miami or Florida or some bullshit.
Before the meat of this story starts off, there's just gratuitous shots of Chuck doing manly shit.
I'll say this though, they're a bit lackluster.
Yeah.
Because when you compare this to the opening of Commando,
oh yeah,
which, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger is literally just a big molten Mars bar of muscle walking down the hill with his logs.
Well,
this is just literally Chuck going, gonna make good time.
Well, in fairness, Chuck's first dialogue scene in this film, it's him and his ethnic mate. More on that later.
Yeah,
him and his ethnic mate wrestling a goddamn alligator.
That's
that. I mean, if anything, it's not as visually impressive as the Commando opening, but it's just as lethal.
I suppose. Like, the thing is though, this is pure like Menachem Golan. Like, just fucking look who that is. That's Chuck Norris, because that's his first appearance. I mean, he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Right. And this is a big problem this film has. Right. I don't know why any of this is fucking happening.
Yeah.
All right. Because, like, first of all, we have the Rostov doing the dirt on the poor Cubans, but then we have Chuck just driving around, and it's just there going, of course, there's no more justification for him being the hero of this movie than he is Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
But anyway, we move from that to the best scene in the movie. Sadly, this kills the rest of the film for me.
All right.
Right? Because we get into Rostov's drug deal scene. Because on the boat, they lift a bunch of coke from underneath the Cuban ship. And basically, Rostov, from what I can tell, is bringing the coke to this guy to get money, to get boats, to get invading the USA.
Yeah.
It starts out with a David Lynch villain, this kind of slick back scumbag who's like silently evil. He just, he just looks like somebody who'd post on, like, r/MRA or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He looks like that kind of guy, or like r/pickup tips. You
Yeah.
know?
He
But,
looks like the kind of guy is like, have I opened up enough? Have I got enough rapport?
Yeah.
Can I move into escalation now?
Yeah, he looks like a nigger.
Yeah.
That probably that is not racist. Okay.
No, nigger. A person who negs.
Yes, that's anyway. He's there and he's like, "Hey Rostov, I'll give you some cocaine, or here's the cocaine, give it to my girlfriend." And this poor woman, like, she's there snorting the coke. Well, not poor, she's switchblading for a few minutes.
Yeah.
But Rostov again doesn't explain what is going on, and then this guy he says something racist and calls up Rostov's buddy who's unpacking weapons. And basically what happens is this guy gets up and starts kind of hitting on him or something.
Yeah.
And then Rostov proceeds to punch the dude in the stomach,
Yeah.
grab the girl's head, and in one of the greatest moments of all time, shove her head into the table while she's snorting cocaine.
Yeah.
And I was there going, oh my god, I bet cokeheads are fucking like throwing up at this point.
Yeah,
I bet everybody who's ever done cocaine has been worried that
Yeah,
something like that
there was a
happened
little
to them.
part of my soul going, oh.
Yeah, but then anyway, Rostov grabs the gun, shoots the two bodyguards in the hallway, and then fucking shoots the guy in the dick.
Yeah.
Like,
But wait, there's more.
yeah.
And then and I was thinking, okay, he shot the guy in the gut, he shot the bodyguard, she's got a straw up in her brainstem.
Yeah.
You've done enough.
Yeah.
You don't need to do any more. But then, for no apparent reason, he just, like, clocks her one in the jaw, and she goes out the window.
He fucks her out the window.
Yeah.
I literally was screaming with laughter.
Yeah,
at
me
the end of
too.
this. It's so over the top.
Yeah, it was so absolutely goddamn ridiculous.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but burst out laughing.
It's.
And all of a sudden, he became the hero for, like, about 5 minutes in the movie.
That's the thing you need with a good 80s action movie.
Yeah.
You need excessive violence that is presented in just a completely unrealistic way.
Yeah.
Like, again, the fact that he made the point to shove that thing down the guy's pants and shoot the dick off him. Glorious.
But because the way 80s movies are shot, even though it's so goddamn ridiculous, it's shot in that sort of grainy, gritty style.
Yeah.
It's like, that could happen.
Yeah.
Which we've kind of lost over the years, I think.
Yeah, we should bring up the fact now that Rostov, you might think you recognize him.
Yeah.
But he is not actually Rutger Hauer.
No.
He's
He's played by a man named Richard Lynch.
Yes.
And hang on, I must check my notes here. Richard Lynch was a quite successful bit part TV and movie actor. He had roles in series like Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, T.J. Hooker, and after this movie he went on to appear in movies like Scanner Cop, Rob Zombie's Halloween remake.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh, he's the principal.
Yeah, he was the principal.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
No, I'm just realizing that now.
I was trawling through his IMDb page and it's like, holy shit, he was, yeah.
That's awesome.
Before he made his last film appearance before his death in 2012 in Lords of Salem.
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Lords of Salem, but I hear it's a piece of garbage.
It's not it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's a DVD rental.
Well, anyway, Rostov and Home Slice.
Yeah.
His buddy. I can't really remember his friend's name.
Dimitri.
Dimitri, was it?
No. Well, at the risk of being racist, we'll call him Boris for the sake of this.
Because I know Rostov's first name is Mikhail.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that was just like Gorbachev. They were just like, yeah,
Oh, no
whatever,
doubt.
whatever. Now, I'm assuming that he's Russian.
Yeah.
But they never actually quite explain it. What happens is we just find out that Chuck Norris wanted to murder him many years ago.
Yeah, there was an incident where Rostov he had broken in, stealthed his way into a compound somewhere, and he was about to off some dignitary with the most subtle weapon he could find, which happened to be a rocket launcher.
Which he put a silencer on.
Yeah, he put a silencer on it for no good goddamn reason. And all of a sudden we just see Chuck's hand with the gun pointing at him. It's like, Rostov, it's time to die.
Yeah, that's Chuck's.
That's Chuck's line for the movie. And for some reason he doesn't shoot him, but he does kick him in the head.
I'm not sure. I think that was a dream sequence.
It could, yeah.
You know, because I'm pretty sure Chuck would have made fucking meat out of him.
Yeah,
like, you
even
know.
with the kick in the head, you're taking your chances with Chuck.
But yeah, we see this, and like, so we kind of get the feeling, we get the impression anyway. The filmmakers want to have the impression that him and Rostov, that Chuck and Rostov, Matt Hunter, Chuck's character.
Oh, I love that name.
But I'm just going to refer to him as Chuck because that's who he is. You know.
I don't know. I think the writers deserve points for that name because it's manly as fuck, but it's also a real name.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's not Xander Cage or something like that.
But it's actually a bit more believable and kind of badass than John Matrix.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
But anyway, we get the whole thing where he's like, I told you Honky's in the CIA, and I was the best CIA agent the CIA ever had, and I don't want to go back and fight in no army, or whatever. Chuck doesn't want to basically go back and fight, even though he's like, I want to murder Rostov.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the problem I have with...
Rostov's coming back, but I'm not going to fight him.
Yeah. It's a problem I have with Chuck. He takes fucking ages to do anything in this movie.
Yes.
But anyway, after all this, we get one of the most stupid scenes in the film. All right. There's a couple playing slap and tickle, as Jim Cornette would put it, on the beach, and basically what happens is they're getting into some light fingering.
Yeah.
And basically,
so some heavy rubbing, light fingering. You know, it's that stage of the evening.
You know, no ass play.
Yeah.
But they're getting into a bit of light fingering. All right. They were locking up. Right. Yeah. And they were on the beach, and the guy, the other dude, Baldy Commie.
Yeah.
Right, he comes along and murders the two of them cold blood.
Yeah.
Right. And like, that's one thing, but he's having no laugh watching Dame Edna or something on the weird portable television.
Yeah.
But as like they do that, and then the invasion force comes in. Now, you can tell that this movie doesn't have a huge budget because the invasion force is just like 20 dudes.
Yeah.
You know,
it's about 5 or 6 boats and just as many extras as they can horse in there.
Yeah. A bunch of dudes they picked up from the local biker bar.
Yeah.
And like people who looked vaguely foreign.
Yeah. And when we say foreign, we don't mean Russian.
No, we mean
from everywhere.
Yeah, they just look, you know, there's probably a couple of lads from Chantilly just running up the...
There's Eastern Europeans in there. There's Hispanic people. There's Asians.
Basically,
it's just communistica.
No, basically anyone a middle class white family who rented a tape on a Saturday night would be afraid of.
Yeah,
you know, that kind of thing, and they're commies as well. You know, so that's But then this thing, I was just there going, that's what he's doing. When it's this weird moment of like Cronenberg body horror, where the guys are running, the soldiers are running onto the beach to invade America, and they just run over this couple's body, and it's just, you get the sound of their legs snapping underneath their boots.
Yeah, that was.
It's kind of fucking gross, like.
Yeah,
you know?
I have some serious issues with this scene because this is clearly just thrown in for a little bit of titillation, which is a canon trope. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it was very light on actual titillation. You didn't see shit.
I think we've got Chuck Norris's Christian beliefs to protect us from...
that's the thing. You do see a bit of boobs in later scenes, you know, when they're going into bars and stuff like that.
Yeah,
there's girls dancing on the tables and...
I know, but there's no, like... There's no sexual violence in this movie.
Okay.
You know... which is, you know, if Michael Winner had directed this, it would have opened with Chuck Norris riding over a river of sexual violence.
Yeah.
But
it would have just been that scene for an hour and a half and then 15 minutes of Chuck kicking people in the face.
Yeah. But anyway, I digress. They invade America by literally running over John and Jane America on the beach in the middle of a bit of light fingering. But then the best thing in the world happens when Rostov goes, right, I got my boys, I'm going to go attack Chuck Norris's shack. And there's an awesome shot. The first rocket Rostov fires at the shack, you can tell is a real rocket hitting the shack. Like, they cut too quick, because it clearly doesn't blow the place up. But it fucking hits the shack. It's a rocket hitting the shack.
And this is one of the truly great bits about this. They use live rockets when and where they could.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
Knowing what I learned about Menachem and Yoram, they're probably like, you know, fucking Israeli like Mossad surplus rockets that they just like, you know, that they smuggled out of the country in film cans, and they were just like, yeah, you know? But
sort of like a weird Argo version of
yeah.
reality here now.
But they were just like, let's just blow up a shack in Florida.
Now I have issues with this scene again, you know, because apparently they're building it up that Rostov he's a bit afraid of Hunter.
Yeah.
And he decides that the best possible thing to do would be to provoke him.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, Chuck's ethnic mate, who's only had like one scene in the movie,
whose name is literally like Eagle.
Yeah, John Eagle.
Yeah.
His
sounds like a fucking gun.
His Native American friend, John Eagle.
Yeah.
You know, we all know 80s action movie, ethnic friend means death.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And I knew it as soon as he appeared on screen, and wouldn't you know it, 5 minutes later I was proven right. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And but there was this brilliant bit, like after it's blown up, where he just carries John Eagle back into the shack, what's left of the shack, and then just chucks a you know, and then just sets the whole fucking thing on fire.
Sends him to Valhalla.
Yeah, like, doesn't this man have family who might want to say their goodbyes or something?
Fuck him. He's not a real American. He's one of these fake OG Americans. Yeah.
How dare he be in America before it was America?
Well, if you remember earlier on in the film, the guy, Chuck was insinuating that the guy had problems with the tax office, the IRS, and basically Chuck was probably there going, fuck it, we'll just write him off. You know, they were probably come chasing his estate for fucking back taxes.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, he's not white, so he get the Wesley Snipes treatment.
Yeah, and you don't want that.
His family would get fucked, like, you know. But so anyway, this they freezered him, if I can use some modern fucking internet fucking discourse. They freezer his friend, which is a good thing. I actually got that from the feminist frequency videos.
The freezer. Yes.
Where your one talks about like freezering a girlfriend or a friend, like, you know, to motivate Whitey into action. Like, you know. So they freezer bomb this guy, and freezer time. Huh! Sorry, but they freezer him, and then Chuck is like, right, I'm on now, but he still takes his time, and he signs up for the CIA again.
Yeah.
He punches his clock, and basically in that time, while Chuck is wasting his just lollygagging around Florida, burying the burnt, charred corpse of his friends, right? Rostov and his mates go to America Street, which is just the most suburban, and America Street probably doesn't sound like a joke to any American listeners, because recently I was in Long Island and I was literally on a street called New York Avenue. Yeah, I was like, that's a joke I would make about New York State.
Yeah, this is 1950s America Avenue that somehow made it into a 1985 action movie.
There's kids playing.
Yeah.
There is families putting a Christmas tree up.
Yeah.
There is a bit of light fingering in a car. All right.
What was odd to me was the kids were playing right beside that car, and none of them stopped to watch.
No.
They clearly, Menachem and Joe Zito clearly don't know children.
No,
if that's the case.
They'd be putting an old spying eye in to see if they could spot your man just gently paw the tail off that poor young woman. But
which would be the height of eroticism for a child that age.
Oh yeah. Anyway, we're on America Avenue, and Rostov and his boy turn up and go, "Don't these fuckers make you sick?" and break out the rockets and blow the fucking street up.
Yes,
for real. Because, as I'm sure you're aware, that street was due to be demolished to make way for a highway. So Menachem and Yoram, the fucking geniuses that they are, managed to negotiate the rights to the city council for them to come in and blow up this street for real.
Now, when you say negotiated the rights, I think it was more sort of like slip them a tenner and look the other way.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I fucking love carny fuckers.
Yeah,
like the fucking like the Cannon boys who just like go, fuck it, man. They probably just went, can we film a scene here, and found out about the destruction. And then just went, fuck it, blow it up. If they, you know what I mean? Like, just fuck him. You know? Yeah. And if they, like, they're not going, better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, it's a badass scene, and afterwards we go from America Avenue to fucking Bad Street, USA, where Chuck Norris is driving his pickup truck down what can basically be described as a boulevard of hookers and bikers and
pimps and
ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah, and they're all looking at the camera as if the camera was on the back of a flatbed truck and they didn't know it was going to be going through their street.
Yeah.
It's not like they're reacting to Chuck, because this is not a reaction you give to just a dude driving down the street.
Chuck's bounding down the street because he's going to get some... He's going to get some fucking weapons, basically. He wants to tool up when he takes on these guys. But before that, we got ahead of ourselves. There was a scene, again, I thought this was another documentary scene, just spliced into my movie, where a bunch of cops just roll up and brutalize a bunch of Cuban immigrants.
Yeah.
And and I was there going, I mean, again... We all know the news.
Yeah.
I was thinking this could have just been Reagan era policing.
Yeah,
they're going, look at lads, there's enough of these fuckers in America going and
yeah, like the two cops just get out of the car. One guy comes over, is like, "Hey, why you messing with our good time?" And and the two of them just shotgun everyone.
Yeah.
In that they can hit with the as. Just like bang, 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 and then they just run.
Yeah.
And then the real cops show up because it was Rostov's men all along. See, it's a swerve, bro. It's a swerve.
I still am not sure if Rostov isn't just like a Reagan sleeper agent, though. But anyway, yeah, because basically at this point in time, it's actually kind of subtle filmmaking where they're just there going, look, they're terrorists, and they're subtly trying to turn America against, like itself. The cops and trying to make America eat itself alive. But again, we still don't really know why though. They just don't like America. They're not. It's actually well put together, but in that respect, like the way they film it. But at the same time, we don't really know where they're from or why they really want to do it.
Yeah.
But
we never hear any backstory on these guys.
Yeah. And now all the while, Chuck Norris is idling down Bad Street, USA. Yeah. Anyway, he gets to meet his buddy, and his buddy tells him he has no patience. And I'm there, son, you clearly have no idea who Matt Hunter is. He has an abundance of patience.
Yeah.
His patience, alright, has meant the deaths of countless Americans.
And him doing sweet fuck all in the first 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah. But thankfully, after this, he tools up and goes to town.
Oh, God, yes.
At first, he shakes down a brothel.
Yeah.
And he... basically gets his dick out and scares a dude away because he's shaking down one guy who's one of Rostov's boys, and he shakes down Rostov boys. Then he gets they go and get what can only be described as like a muscle dude to come in, and the two of them have a bit of a scrap. But basically what happens is Chuck gets information of this guy, and he finds out that they're going to blow up a shopping mall. And when I was watching this movie, I was thinking to myself, like, I bet Chuck Norris was writing this movie and was there going, I bet, can you imagine these terrorists would come in here and attack the beating heart of America, the shopping center. This is like the unironic version of Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
It's like the complete opposite side of the where they're going, look at these horrible people. Now, look, don't get me wrong, right? Attacking a shopping center is a horrible thing to do. But the way this is done is they're going, how dare they attack consumerism?
You missed a great bit in this. You mentioned the cock waving, and there was an admittedly truly awesome cock waving line in this. Mm-hmm. When the first guy comes in to save Rostov's boy, and he smacks someone, and he just goes, "You come back, I'm going to hit you with so many rights you're going to beg for a left."
That's the one.
That's fucking awesome.
But but this leads us to our first great action sequence. Yeah. Where Chuck Norris foils a bombing of foils the destruction of a shopping mall by destroying a shopping mall. Like, he just whips out two fucking Uzis and starts shooting up this place.
That we didn't know he had.
Yeah. With a weird Uzi bra.
Yeah.
Weird. You know what I mean? But he blows the fucking place up. The guys are like, they're clearly like rattled at this point because they're like, oh shit, he's got us, like, you know. And it, like they fire. It's classic A-Team shit where like they're shooting, you know, a million bullets at him and none of them fucking hit him.
Yeah.
But we get this insane chase sequence, and this is actually the time when the music first gets good in this movie, because basically what happens is the fucking like the 80s synth occurs for the first time, and Chuck is chasing the truck after he again destroys the entire shopping mall. And basically he shoots his way out, shoots up half of America on the way, but thankfully kills like 3 guys.
Yeah, we're all the better for not having these dudes in the world anymore.
And this is kind of the pattern for the rest of the movie, where it's like Chuck Norris and the American establishment blowing up America to save America.
Yeah.
Rostov finds out who sold the guys out, shoots the dick off another dude.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
You obviously told Hunter. What did he say? Tell him it's time to die.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am going to fucking beat this into the ground, because that's just, you know, I think it's just the repetition of it that makes it fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that and Chuck's entirely unironic delivery of it every single time. Like, he means it.
He's actually been counting the seconds.
Yeah.
He's like I've worked out, my calendar says today is the day.
Yeah, like he's, you know, all this acting and emoting and walking to places, that's just preamble to Chuck.
That's why he's taking his time.
Yeah.
Because he's there going, it's not time to die yet.
It's not yet, but it soon will be.
Yeah. Oh man, that's amazing. This movie has completely changed in my head.
Yeah, it's working on so many different levels.
Yeah, it's like cancer or something. It's like a fucking, you know, he is like the slow rot that occurred to the Soviet economy.
Yeah.
You know, he's there going, look, it's not time yet.
Yeah.
But it will be time.
But it's coming.
And
which is kind of what was going on in 1985 as well. So
yeah. It's that's fucking phenomenal. But
it works on so many levels.
It does. It's a deep movie. But at this point I was wondering myself, why didn't they send the U.S. Army in to deal with these terrorists?
Yeah. This is a question that kind of bugged me as well.
Because there's a lot of them. I mean, there's like 20 guys at the beginning, but there seems like, and one of them, by the way, I must point out, was one of the 3 storms from the Big Trouble in Little China movie. Yeah. Which, I mean, that's a dangerous dude.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, like, we get to this point where, like, this film is very disjointed, whereas, like, again, Chuck takes his time because it's not time to die. Yeah. And he gets to the point where, like, out of nowhere, he gets wind of a school bus attack, and
yeah, which we get no background on.
No.
Like, we know he's driving along the highway. Like, we see the terrorists plant the bomb.
Yeah.
Like, they attach it to the school bus, and they're all inside singing, you know, the wheels on the bus go round and round, because it's idyllic and American and all that sort of thing.
And royalty-free.
And royalty-free, exactly. But Chuck comes out of nowhere, and at no point in this film did anyone say, oh, by the way, Chuck, we're going to bomb a school bus.
Yeah.
No, he just arrives out of nowhere, right?
You know what happened?
Yeah.
Because he stood up on a mountain, right?
Yeah.
And the beard blew the wrong way.
Yeah.
And he went, I sense danger.
Exactly.
and
what... See, this is one of those Chuck Norris facts moments where he stops being a bad dude and starts being Superman, and it just kind of, it destroys it for a little bit.
Also,
yeah,
through a mix of bad editing and just Chuckness, right? He manages to manipulate time, because there's clearly he's taking too long. We see like 20 seconds.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, there's 20 seconds left on the clock, but it takes him longer than 20 seconds to get the thing is on the bus. It's 20 seconds down. It takes him at least 45 seconds to take the bomb,
easily 45.
Put it in his own car, drive up and dump it in the next car.
And say his witty line as well.
Yeah, do you know why?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't time to die. Because Chuck Norris, Chuck Norris in this movie is Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, he chooses, he controls time, and it's time to die.
Yeah, he experiences time, and he clearly is unkillable. So he's aware of everyone else's time to die. Because he can't die.
Because he sees time as a 4-dimensional thing that he uses to kill people.
Yeah.
That's... There's
some people in the world that he doesn't fight, he just hates.
Yeah.
And he's like, time will kill you.
There was that other scene. One thing I love about this, One thing I love about these terrorists is they just attack Americana.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like they have the suburban homes. They have like the
mall.
Yeah, the mall. They have like the ghetto dance hall. And they also attack a church.
Oh, of course.
You know the bit I'm talking about where they brought in like martial law and all that, and you just see a family.
Yeah.
And you just see a family kind of sneak away to church because in Chuck Norris's America, that's what you damn well do.
Oh yeah, you pray those bastards
And
out of this country.
The terrorists, they leave a suitcase bomb just outside the door of the church, and there's this brilliant Wile E. Coyote moment where the guy he's reeling out the wire and he's just about to, he pushes down on the plunger and nothing. And then all of a sudden, Chuck arrives with the suitcase on the roof of the building beside them. Couldn't get it working, huh? Chucks it down, hot wires the bomb. Now it'll work. Boom!
Big question.
Yeah.
When did Chuck switch the bombs?
That's what, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or did Chuck just, like, stare that other bomb into submission and then have his own bomb?
No. See, as well as owning, because he has mastered time.
Yeah.
He can nick that bomb, climb up. He can freeze time, like Zach Morris in Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. That's how you know.
Okay.
He's Time Man.
Yeah.
Time to die.
And,
He's an anti-hero.
It's like Looper. But it's
only with the slightly better actor.
Hey, oh no, stiff shot. But who are you taking a shot at there?
Brucey. No, Hayden.
Hayden.
Oh no, I'm thinking.
You're thinking of Jumper.
Yeah, sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Talking about Looper, man.
Oh, my bad.
But no better. But he foils the church thing, and then there's like a sting on Chuck because the police arrest him. But this is all so Chuck can arrange a weird kind of like sting operation.
Yeah.
First of all, the news, like Rostov should have known the fix was in, right? Because can you imagine like a mass murder and vigilante being given primetime news to say whatever he wants, and he gets on the news and tells Rostov it's time to die.
Yeah, and this message is delivered without any context to the people who might be watching on the TVs at home.
Yeah.
Like
now, in fairness, if there was a bunch of terrorists killing people, right, and some bearded badass just started murdering them, I think maybe the news might give him a little bit of time.
Oh yeah.
But
if he just used that to say it's time to die, without any context, it's like you Rostov, I kicked you in the face in your dream earlier.
Yeah,
I know that because I was there.
Yeah, because I incepted you.
He runs time and dreams now.
Man, we gotta recut this movie like a trailer with the actual track time from Inception playing over it.
Wah.
But he incepted Rostov, but anyway, like he does that. It's to set up a sting operation. So basically, what happens is Rostov and the boys they round up all the foreigners and bikers and Judas Priest fans and commies that are in Miami, and they're like, he's in the police station, let's rush the fucker. Right? So they all get in there, and then they get in the building, and they burst in the building, and this features one of the most dangerous looking stunts I've ever seen, where a car, like an armored vehicle, bursts in through like the bay door, and this guy looks like he legitimately gets murdered.
Yeah,
like
it looks like a sleeping bag full of cranberries being run over.
Yeah,
it's fucking hard.
The guy just gets blown back. I'm sure, like,
it's horrific.
He probably took out Monaco's legs behind the camera.
Probably, yeah.
It's amazing. You got to check that stunt out. Like, it's so dangerous. It's like something of a Mad Max movie or something.
Yeah.
But they rush the building, only to find the place is empty. Why? Because Chuck has used his CIA connection, because he's the best CIA agent the CIA ever had, and he uses CIA connections to basically empty the building and leave the most dangerous terrorists in the world to him on his own.
Yeah.
And outside the building, Rostov's, the rest of his putties, his foot soldiers, shall we say, they all run into the combined might of the U.S. Army, which, just like Chuck, took their sweet fucking time in turning
They
on.
fucking did, no.
And then what happens is, it's almost like the Wild Bunch, where there's just like a massacre.
Yeah.
You know.
While that's going on outside, Chuck Norris is doing the Arkham Asylum thing to the terrorists inside.
He is, yeah.
You know, he's stealthing them the whole way.
And also, like,
Well, as stealthy as you can be with Tech 9s.
Yeah, with a fucking rocket launcher. But he basically kicks the shit out of everybody and bails in to the place. And it comes down to him and Rostov.
There is an absolutely brilliant bit just before the Rostov confrontation where Chuck finally runs out of ammo with his Tech 9s.
Yeah.
And he takes off the Tech 9 bra and he leaves it down. And there's actually a little bit of reverence in his movements. Like, he's very gentle with how he leaves down the guns. It's sort of like, I'll miss you, guns.
Yeah.
And then he just grabs another gun and he's on his way.
There's just kind of like, you know, maybe like, again, I don't want to be completely political, but like, those are Israeli weapons.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, maybe like Menachem is there going, fucking like, good night, sweet prince. You know,
No, he's fighting for all things Americana, you know, like 1950s suburbs and, you know, Cuban dance halls and Tech 9s.
we get to a fight with Rostov finally. All right, it's time.
It's time.
All right, and we get to the fight with Rostov, and Rostov is essentially like just jobbed out. Like Chuck Norris, in the world's most flexible pair of jeans,
Yes.
kicks the shit out of Rostov, and basically Rostov doesn't get an offensive move in on him.
And he's toying with them by the end of it.
Yeah.
Because he beats the shit out of him.
To the point where
then he just disappears for a second.
Yeah.
And then...
You know why?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't time.
It wasn't time. But a minute later, Rostov, he's going through the office building. He's got his rocket launcher in hand. And we just see Chuck sneak up behind him with the rocket launcher of his own.
That tells you everything you need to know about this movie. Chuck Norris stealths a guy with a rocket launcher.
And he just pulls out the thing. It's time. Boom. Rostov blows out the window.
Rostov ceases to have form. That's
Yeah.
the best way I can
He
describe
gets
it.
broken down to his component particles.
Yeah. He also gets Dr. Manhattan.
Yes.
And
In a very real and very visceral sense.
yeah.
And that's the great thing. That's where it ends. You know, then it's just like cut to credits. There's nothing of... We didn't even mention the reporter chick.
No, well, you see, that's the thing.
Yeah, she's completely unimportant.
She's completely superfluous
Yeah.
to the plot. There is a reporter throughout the movie, and basically, she's just there to pad the movie out.
But if this was like a Jason Statham movie, there'd be some awkward bit of flirty banter between the two of them.
Chuck ain't got shit for
Chuck
her.
ain't got time for that shit.
You know?
It's like, okay, I've murdered the bad guy. You know, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
We're taking it to the pay window.
She has no impact on the plot.
Absolutely. She's a reporter who doesn't report on anything.
Yeah, I mean, look, I liked her. She had
Yeah.
that kind of weird 80s woman attitude. Like,
Yeah.
you know, she was like a glow wrestler or something.
Yeah,
like,
she
you know?
she was one of those sort of stereotypical 80s tough chicks.
Yeah.
You know, and
But-
I kind of dig that.
But at the same time, like, there was nothing for her really to do.
Yeah.
Nothing for the cops to really to do.
Well, to be honest,
they
was...
come in and drop a little bit of exposition
Yeah.
every now and then. But
There was no room for anything feminine in this
No,
movie
no,
whatsoever. This was all about, you know, occasional bits of boob, flexing and firing at things.
Yeah.
That was all this movie is. And honestly, I fucking love this movie. I really enjoyed it.
Now, I'll say this. As far as a movie goes,
Yeah.
right, it's edited kind of sloppily in places.
Absolutely.
The music was a little bit kind of... because I'd never seen Invasion USA before I watched this, and I was expecting some 80s synth goodness. You know that I love me some 80s synth. I will go around just listening to Vince DiCola all day.
Absolutely.
You know,
to my great fucking annoyance at
you
times.
know, I'll put on a little bit of Van Hagar. You know,
And a lot of the time the soundtrack just it felt like the B-sides to the Warriors soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing is, Cannon have some fantastic 80s soundtracks.
Absolutely.
Like the Alan Silvestri score to a movie we will fucking get to, alright?
Yeah.
Delta Force
Yes.
is fucking
Dear
awesome.
sweet Jesus, yes.
All right, but like this movie just didn't have anything music-wise apart from like the few seconds of synth at the mall shootout. So other than that, like it's not a very well put together movie. It's not a well written movie.
Yeah.
It's not a well scored movie, but it's still a pretty fucking good movie.
I feel like I get the sense that this film was rushed, like in post production.
Yeah.
And if they gave it like a little bit more time to breathe, you know, and cut it so it made a little bit more sense, it would have been a far better film. But that being said, it's Chuck Norris. It's 1985. You only get about like 5-6 years of these kind of movies.
Yeah.
And this is a prime example of them.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I really enjoy it.
I mean, I think one of the gimmicks we're gonna do on this show is whether we would recommend these movies, because let's face it, right? I mean, and one of the reasons that I wanted to address like the more abhorrent elements of canon films is because I wouldn't want someone, like, we're not going to discuss them at length, but we're not going to like just flash over them either. We have to make mention, because I wouldn't want someone to listen to this and then go, oh, I'm going to watch Death Wish 3. That sounds like a lot of fun. And then you're confronted with like 15-minute gang rapes.
Yeah, and I don't want to get the angry message from from friends of mine saying, I heard you talk about this movie.
Yeah.
Why on earth did I just watch that? You know I'm gay, and you had me watch Bo Derek for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
It's nothing for me there.
We're going to have to just kind of, we're going to have to address all this kind of stuff, you know. But
So-
basically, what we're going to say is, would we recommend it? And is it worth watching? Because I love canon, but there's an awful lot of fucking trash in canon. You know, like they made bad movies. Now some of them are so bad they're great, but some of them are just boring.
Yeah.
And we're gonna cut into this, but basically, would you recommend Invading U.S.A?
As a movie you'd watch with your mates at about like 3 o'clock in the morning when you're all hammered, I would definitely give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
However, considering it's an 80s action movie, you have to judge it by the movies, by the standards of the time. So it's going up against films like Cobra, Commando, things like that, and it doesn't hold up against those movies.
No.
However, as a movie, as a standalone, not comparing it to any of those, it's an enjoyable film that you would really like when you're hammered.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Much like a lot of canon's output, it's like those movies.
Yes,
you know,
it's
what I mean?
not quite those movies.
Yeah, and if you've watched if you're a kid who's only getting into 80s action now, like say like you're a teenager or whatever.
Oh, I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, like once you get through Commando, once you get through Predator, and all the great 80s Arnie stuff.
Yeah,
then give Invasion USA a go. Don't let this movie be your introduction to 80s action.
Oh god.
But once you're into 80s action, definitely give it a watch. Because it is fun.
Are there any special circumstances in which you'd recommend this?
Wedding night.
I would have it for anyone who's about our age, who has a younger brother that you're really worried is going to turn into a complete and utter wuss.
Yeah.
Show him this movie.
Oh, if you are a hipster, you should probably watch this movie.
Yeah. Just to see what's coming to you if I ever get my way.
No, just to see if you can actually enjoy something kind of bad, genuinely.
Yeah, on an unironic level, because I truly enjoyed this.
And that's
on
the thing.
An unironic
I think
level.
we're going to leave with this sentiment. All right, we will be discussing the canon movies, the canon, if you will. Right. We do not have we have an unironic love of canon. I fucking love Canon pictures. I love the logo. I love everything about them, and I'm looking forward to discussing it with everybody, with the world, hopefully. And basically, if you're watching these movies along with us, we would love for you to get in contact with us and tell us what you thought about it. I can be found on Twitter at JohnnyCapcom. And if you direct your stuff to me,
and I can be found at Robot House Sean.
Okay, well there you go. I didn't know you had a Twitter.
All right,
but
I barely use it, but come on.
But basically, let us know what you thought about it. We might set up a Twitter for this show.
And if there are any particularly good comments, we will read them out.
We would love to know what you've got to think about it. We hope that you persevered with this episode, and we hope you enjoyed it, because this will be the shittest episode.
Yeah.
Because I realized like we were zipping over stuff and whatever else.
Yeah.
But we were still finding our feet. But I think it'll be a really fun listen. Obviously, if we are on iTunes or whatever else, feel free to subscribe. I'm not going to beg you for reviews, but if you want to leave one, do. But just stick with us. We're going to do some more movies soon, including our next film, which is Breaking, motherfucker.
Yes.
Which stars one of my heroes, Ice motherfucking T, bitch.
Yes.
All right. And,
Cop Killer.
And hot with high energy, dancing to the beat with a scratch mix sound that comes from the street. This movie is unique.
You've got the talent. She ain't no street dancer.
So go and tell your peers the movie you long for is finally here. With action, style, and beautiful girls. People don't procrastinate, see the show, don't hesitate, and see how one young girl contacts the street dance world.
Looking at death, man. Come on, sucker, right now. She was good.
I'm better.
Who do you think you are anyway? Fred Astaire? Who?
Don't be mistaken, you've got to see Breaking.
We're going to get to Breaking because we want to jump into, like, we've done action, and we're going to do way more action, so if you want to hear us talk about Death Wish and American Ninja and all that, it's coming. You know, but we want to get into the musicals like The Apple and Breaking. We want to get into teen comedies like The Last American Virgin and stuff like that. We want to get into just like the Lambada.
Yeah.
We want to get into the lot.
And I want to get deep into the tit movies. Is there like an International Women's Day? We should release like all of them.
Just Bo Derek Day. But
well, she is an international woman.
She is indeed, yeah, International Woman of Nudity. We won't be talking about all of them, but we'll talk about some of them. And if you're out there, if you're like a connoisseur of the Emmanuel series, and you know of any particularly funny or weird ones, just please let us know, and we'll jump into it, like, you know. But basically, we hope that you had fun listening to this episode. We hope that you'll join us for further ventures into the Cannon Canon. And have you got anything to sign off on, John?
It's time.
Yeah, it's time for me to eat some fucking dinner.
Me too.
Anyway, I will. Yeah, we'll talk to you all next time. I hope you'll join us for Breaking. And fucking just steer clear of Michael Winner.
I've been Sean Sheridan. He's been Johnny Capcom. We've been the Cannon Canon.
Yeah.
Live your life. It's not my child.
Jumping like to be a brow. Holding it Duffy, she don't need the cops call. She might as well call the Army or the United States Marines. Cause I'll never forget it, hearing that Everest driver say, someone should have told him those boys about best in USA.